I'm a personal trainer and online fitness coach, and my good friend Christian has a big goal of losing weight and a lot of body fat. Basically, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how and why I'm going to program him a specific way from a consultation that we had. Bro, that illusion's pretty good. And all of this is based on his current experience and where he is psychologically so he can adhere to the plan. So in all honesty, you can probably steal this plan for your own benefit. That way you don't really have to guess what is best for you and for your situation. And I'm literally gonna list off which exercises and what type of workout split he should be doing.
I've been really off. Summer's coming and I need to lose weight fast. And I know that my biggest thing is just knowledge. I don't feel like I know the best use of my time and the best exercises that I could do to try to lose this weight. I know that I'm really crazy and I know that you told me to kind of like chill out with it, but I really want to see his results as fast as possible because it's also going to help me be more motivated once I start seeing the weight come off.
So normally when I hear that, like just wanting to go as fast as possible, that can kind of lead to a little bit more extreme behavior, which he's told me that he has in the past where he's just gone really hard into it. But what ends up happening is that almost takes out like the sustainable mindset and it almost creates more of a yo-yoing effect. So when I'm programming for him specifically, I'm looking for something that he can do sustainably, especially in the beginning. And one of the biggest things for someone to adhere to a plan is making sure that they're actually seeing results in the beginning and getting easy wins. Right now, this is almost telling me like, hey, we probably need to go at something where we're only hitting like strength training like at just about 3 times per week, just in the very beginning. That can change in the future, but those are my first thoughts right here. So what are you doing like currently?
Right now, I would say that I've been trying to step up my cardio a little bit because I've just noticed that in the past, like doing cardio helps me lose weight more than the weightlifting, even though in the past I've been weightlifting heavy. But I've been doing a lot more Stairmasters. I'm not as regular as I want to be, and my diet still kind of sucks.
Basically, right there, he's mentioning that he's just doing cardio for weight loss, and sometimes that's not always the best way to look at weight loss. It's actually a lot more on the nutrition aspect, and that's kind of what he says at the very end. And I kind of probe a little bit more into that way to see what he's doing nutrition-wise.
I'm not going from eating healthy to trying to reduce calories. I'm going for very, very unhealthy, where I'm eating, like I said, I almost have like 2 to 3 Guinnesses a night. I'm having fucking, pizza, my pretzels are my favorite thing, chips, fries, and soda, and so just removing that, you're gonna see a change just from that alone, right?
So there it is. It's nutrition that's kind of got him to the place where he is now, and just cutting back those like smaller things. That's easy. Now, when I'm looking at this, like I could look at protein and calories and everything, and making sure he's in a deficit for the very first couple weeks. All I'm worried about is him establishing like good habits. But the main thing that I'm checking with him is like, what are you doing with your meals? Like, are you feeling full enough on those meals so you're not indulging into these other snacks? And seeing if we can create a pattern of healthier habits rather than just getting super, super tedious right away into tracking all the macros and everything. So that's like the lowest hanging fruit where if he gets that under control, he's already going to see a huge amount of progress. And all he really has to do is do enough lifting to maintain muscle mass at that point.
I think something that I can do, which can help, is I'll meal prep.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, and then in that way, because I think the tedious part about it before was like every day I'd be eating something a little bit different, and I'm looking at my MyFitnessPal and I'm plugging these things in. But maybe if I designed a few meals that I already had pre-planned out, but are within that like thing, then it would be more of a no-brainer for me.
Love that. That's it. And basically what I'm going to design for him are what I call meal templates. They're not an exact meal plan or anything. Basically, I want to almost show him like what portion sizes end up working to get him to his goal. That way he doesn't really have to think about it.
I'm not that consistent with working out right now, and I haven't been going as hard as I know I need to. The problem though is like it's not quite there yet. Like I feel like in the past I would really be in there, especially when I had a program, and I would really push myself and I'd get through it, and I don't know. Lately it's like I'm working out, but I'm just kind of I'm just lifting a few weights.
What are you sitting at weight wise?
215.
I want to make a mental goal of like mainly of reducing body fat more than anything. If we get sub 200, that's a win. If we get to like 205, honestly, that's still a win from where we are, and we're just going to keep on pushing on that. Now, let's go take a look at the workout program that I'm going to give him. So technically I recorded this last night, but when editing, I realized that my mic wasn't even turned on. So here we go again. So when we're looking at Christian's program, I have him split up into 3 full body days and then a mobility day at the very end. Well, actually, I'll kind of show you how it's split up. But how I'm looking at it for him is getting him on a consistent schedule. So what that kind of looks like is we'll just say these are the days of the week right here, the Thursday, and that's Friday. So I'm looking for him to hit a lift on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then all these other days in between. I'm fine if he does some type of cardio, man, this is really hard to type, or mobility for any of those ones. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the very beginning. But anyway, you get that. So next, when we're going into the full body workouts, how I program them is I always love giving him mobility in the beginning. He has some little bit of neck stuff going on, a little bit of some shoulder things as well, especially when he's doing any pressing movements. So I'm not going to go too much into detail on why I chose these specific mobility exercises for him, because I actually did get to see him move a little bit. But basically, just hitting some external, internal rotation, warming up the shoulders, some dislocates where you're bringing it all the way around, and then getting the lower body stretched out as well. He has some, like his glutes get a little tight every now and then, so 90-90s. Fantastic exercise for that. Now, what I really want to talk about is the strength training that I have him doing. So basically, I need him strength training so that way he's holding on to muscle while he's losing body fat. But to be honest, he hasn't been on a program in a very long time, and he's going to be able to gain muscle almost no matter what. So basically, we're going to try and gain as much muscle and lose as much body fat as we can. And when I'm programming a full body workout, I'm looking at stuff where I can get him into some type of squat or hinge movement, a pushing movement, and a pulling movement. And then other than that, some accessories afterwards. So when we start over here at the barbell back squat, I have him at 5 to 8 reps. I'm not even looking for him to go 100%, especially for the first couple weeks. We're just kind of getting used to it, trying to find out where he's at. And then the landmine bent over row, love that for him, especially getting the core a little bit involved. And incline bench press, and your pull is your rear lateral fly on it. And just some arms at the end because he likes that. But what I want to point out is in every single one of these workouts, there's a little bit of core in it. And what I kind of noticed with him, his biggest thing is that we need to really develop the core. That way, when we start going up heavy in the back squat or even almost in any other exercise like a deadlift, that's helping support everything else. And where you're not like pulling and like potentially hurting yourself. You want to make sure that your body's fully functional. So that's kind of why that's in there. And I'll go into full body 2. So that'll be hit on something like a Monday. We'll have a rest in between where I'm fine with him doing mobility and cardio. And I'll get into that. But full body 2, it's a very similar format to where I'm giving him mobility in the beginning. Main difference that I'm just seeing off the top is the waiter's bow hip hinge drill. That's just basically a hamstring stretch. And the reason why I'm going more into that is because we're trap bar deadlifting right away. And basically with that, I'm also supersetting that with a Pallof press. Now this isn't an extreme core exercise or anything, but basically all you're doing is just keeping that core braced the entire time. And that kind of turns us on. That way it will be a little bit more supported when he goes into the deadlift, because the last thing I want him to do right now is get hurt and blow his back out on week 2. Don't want that. And core is a big focus for him. All right, and we got a lat machine, lat pull down, walking lunge. I know I could kind of look like a dick for giving him lunges and a deadlift in the same day. But reason being for that is that he expressed that he doesn't do as much single leg exercises or anything. And that's really something that you do want to have. And it does help with making sure that your body isn't having too many imbalances or anything. Now, a lunge is one way to do it. You can put them into a Bulgarian split squat. I'm just choosing to do the lunge just to start out for the first phase. And these programs will end up changing about like once every month or so, especially with the rep ranges. And you'll notice that most of these rep ranges are around 8 to 12-ish. I do plan on changing that. They're fairly high-ish right now, but I plan on going through seasons where he's going to be focusing more on strength, which would be the lower rep range, say like just for instance 4 to 6-ish, and other seasons where I just want him like hitting 8 to 12. And you might notice that I have a 3-second eccentric on his dumbbell seated shoulder press. Reason being here is he is getting that neck like to almost activate a little bit too much. And sometimes it's just caused by him just really pushing up as hard as he can and coming down uncontrollably. So I really want to reinforce that he is being able to control the weights all the way down and activating the correct muscles and doing good form, especially in the beginning. Right now, it really doesn't matter what he puts out weight-wise. His body is going to adapt because he hasn't really been following anything for a little bit. All right. And put in some dips and some hanging leg raises. So, all right, full body 3, basically same type of thing going on mobility wise, really activating behind the shoulders as well. Not going to go into detail on that. All right, barbell bench press, hitting that one, 6-8. Again, I'm throwing down that 3-second eccentric, which is just on the way down. And then everything else is around like 8 to 12. I've got a RDL, a cable seated row, and a lateral raise. And then after that, it's just a basic curl and tricep extension. We're just getting a little bit of a pump there. He likes to work the arms. Got to throw that in there for him. But for all of these workouts, the main things that are the biggest focus are his big compound lifts. And I can't stress that enough when you are programming yourself. Is that you need, or if you're just following the program, you need to focus on your big compound lifts more than anything. So the ones that I care about the most are right here: bench, RDL, and a cable seated row, and seeing what he can do to progress those. I do need to start messing with some of these rest times because I didn't mean to put 90. Now, all these rest times that you see over here when I'm programming, they're more used as a minimum right now. You do want to make sure that you're resting quite a bit when you are trying to build muscle. Even if you're in a cut as well, you don't want to just keep on like do 30 seconds of rest and you just feel like, oh, I can catch my breath and do some more. Your muscles are going to be a little bit fatigued and exhausted where they're not ready to perform that next set. And if they're not ready to perform it, you're not going to see the optimal change on that. So I can't stress that rest times are huge. And what's cool is when I program my clients in this app is that it will actually give them a rest time timer. And for him, I'm using it as a minimum. And if you're interested in having a very customized program made just for you, you can hit that application link down in the description. And I would literally coach you one-on-one throughout the entire process and take out all the guesswork for you. So all you really have to do is follow the plan and you will see results. So yeah, hit that link. But back to this, have some abs here. Wanting to get him into some type of rotational core movement as well. Just to make sure his back doesn't blow out, but also get that core going, make it feel pretty good. And I got him doing a little burnout at the very end of just some decline push-ups and an ab wheel. So nothing crazy there. We're just mainly trying to get him into a sustainable rhythm. And in all honesty, if he just completes those 3 right here and say he didn't even do cardio that week, that's going to be a huge win for him, no matter what, even if it's 2 of these. But the main thing that I'm looking for him to do is progressive overload. So all that looks like is each week, I'm looking for him to either increase the weights that he's lifting or he's increasing the reps. And basically with this, that's going to ensure that muscle growth going up. All right, that's going to be the last time I try and write with this. But That's how you build muscle. And is by continuously adding weights and reps to your plan. And what's cool with the app that I program everybody in is that it will keep track of all this for you. So that way, when he goes back into, let's just say his deadlift, and he just deadlifted, we'll say 200 pounds for 8 reps. The next time he does it, he can see that and be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put 210 on the bar. And this is also something that I can see and coach him through. So for his mobility and cardio day, this is what he's going to be hitting in between his workouts. If he makes it in, I'm not going to be as pressed on him in the beginning, but eventually I will be, because the last thing that we want are injuries. But basically, we're hitting like the core things that are a little bit more tighter on him, which are his glutes. And I threw in the scapular pull-ups because we are having some issues with like that neck kind of taking over. So I want to really make sure his shoulders are reset down and back before we're doing any pressing movements. Nothing, I don't want to go into too much detail on this, but basically any type of steady cardio at the very end, I'm having him hit that for about 20 minutes in the very beginning. It's more of a cardio day. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video and keep you posted on Christian's progress. Peace off.